On with Newswatch, media writer Sophie Elsworth, who's the media writer of the Australian newspaper. Sophie Elsworth, lovely to talk to you. Now, I work for the Murdoch media and 2 more years of Sky coming up now. You work for the Murdoch media, so it might seem, unfair to ask you, and I accept that. But Malcolm Turnbull's attack on Sky News, what's your take?
Well, Andrew, firstly, congratulations on signing for another 2 years. I'm sure Malcolm Turnbull will be thrilled to hear that, and of course your viewers. But look, I thought his criticism of Sky News today on Patricia Karvelas's Radio National program was very unfair. He was very critical of Sky News and the New Voice channel, which, can I just point out to your viewers, Andrew, that he hadn't even watched the channel, and yet he's claiming that it's going to be spreading misinformation without watching a single minute of it. And by this point, this morning, it had been live for nearly 24 hours. I think it's really important when he does appear on the ABC that he's challenged. We know he's a darling of the ABC. And I think when he was discussing The Voice on Patricia's show this morning, she really should have been questioning him about his former views on The Voice, because he was the one that said this would be a third chamber of parliament. Now, that's been debunked by many constitutional lawyers. Now, you could argue he's spreading misinformation. She didn't question him about that. So I think it was a very soft interview and things just went unchecked. And really, when we're paying for this broadcast, it's taxpayers' money, he should be challenged. We are paying for that content.
Look, this is absolutely true. Don't forget he was against The Voice until he was for it, after the Liberals were started to think maybe we should be against. I mean, this man's all over the shop. His push for a royal commission into the Murdoch media, I find this extremely sinister. Obvious intimidation, using state power to try and, censor, intimidate or gag a media, is hoping the Labor government will get on board. Where is that going?
Well, now that Kevin Rudd's over in the US, he's taken on this co-chairing role of calling for a Murdoch Royal Commission. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. The Labor government has never said that they would endorse this. It's really quite a sad state of affairs because, as we know, Malcolm Turnbull's party threw him out. He's forever blamed the Murdoch press for that. He's never gotten over being tossed out as Prime Minister. And sadly, he's still got an axe to grind. And Murdoch and News Corp and Sky News are the ones who seem to cop it day in, day out from him.
Yeah, and I also thought it was rich, by the way. This morning, Malcolm Turnbull sucking up to the ABC, and especially to presenter Patricia Karvelas, praising her as somehow fair and unbiased on The Voice, despite her, as you know, Sophie, being a pro-Voice cheerleader. Even the ABC had to caution for a bias towards the Indigenous Affairs Minister.
Patricia, what you try to do on the ABC is present both sides of the argument and give everyone a fair go.
Indigenous Australians Minister, I should have said. But Sophie, that praise came 2 days after Karvelas hosted a typically biased Q&A show on the ABC. 3 panellists, all Yes Crusaders as well as her, and only one no voter there, Nationals MP Barnaby Joyce. And have a listen how the typical ABC audience treated him when he dared to criticise The Voice.
This is probably one of the most divisive things that has come into my area and regional area in my political history.
Who's responsible for that division?
Well, the people who wrote the question, which is and it's just, no matter what happens, you're asking a range of things. You're asking 2 people who were born in the same hospital, went to the same primary school, went to the same high school, live in 2 houses beside one another in a regional town, that one apparently has access to 2 fields in the federal parliament and one has access to 1. And they say, why is that the case? Why are you doing this on...
Wait a minute. Let's just be respectful.
You've got that attitude. When other people out there hear it, it resonates why they're angry.
Oh, the praise of Karvelas and and then the booing of... What do you make of all this?
Well, Andrew, that tweet by Patricia, as you said, she was cautioned when she said that this legend, Linda Burney, was going to be the nation's next Indigenous Australians minister. That did her no favours. I think she would deeply regret doing that. It just showed her biases there. Look, the Q&A program, we know that the crowd there is heavily skewed left. And so for the audience to react like that to Barnaby Joyce is no surprise. But I think there's a real worry out there by the Yes campaigners that the No are a real threat and that they may be successful in making sure that this referendum doesn't succeed. And you're seeing that with a lot of the commentators on the Yes side constantly saying No side is spreading misinformation without actually citing examples. I've got a story coming up on this in the coming days where I'm seeing it littered throughout podcasts, news articles and so forth, Andrew.
No, well, I can't wait for that, Sophie. Your stuff's always worth reading. Thank you so much, Sophie Elsworth. Really appreciate it.